Ahoy, mates! Have you ever wondered how I became a pirate? When I was growing up, I dreamed of being somebody really dangerous and exciting. I even tried to start several nicknames on my own. I remember telling all of my friends to call me Buck, but never really caught on, and I grew up as just plain old Ron Hamilton. But all that changed when I went to the eye doctor for what I thought was going to be a routine eye checkup. The doctor looked into my right eye and everything checked out fine. But when he looked into my left eye, he found a little tiny speck and he didn't know exactly what it was. So he sent me to Atlanta, Georgia for testing over the next few months. Every time I went back to Atlanta, the test got a little more serious. Everything culminated when the doctor rolled me into the operating room and told me he was going to have to go inside my left eye to find out what was going on. He said if it were a popped blood vessel or something I'd inherited, I'd simply wake up with a sore bloodshot left eye. But if it were cancer, when I woke up, my left eye would be gone. Well, it was a little suspenseful that day. And when I finally came to, Shelley told me that the doctor had taken out my left eye. It was completely gone. But we were both very aware that God's peace had come to take its place. I stayed in the hospital for about a week recovering, and when it came time to go home, they rolled me out the front door of the hospital. Well, I met a young boy being brought in by his mother. He pointed at me and yelled out, "Look, Mommy, there's a pirate." His mother jerked him in the hospital lobby and told him never to say anything like that again. And everywhere I went, kids called me a pirate. In fact, when I got back home to our home church the following Sunday morning, a little 5-year-old friend of mine came running down to the front and asked me, "Where have you been? What's going on? What in the world is that on your left eye?" Well, I told him, it's called a pirate patch. His eyes got big, his mouth dropped open, and he said, "Are you a pirate?" I said, "Well, I guess I am now. You can call me Patch the Pirate." Well, he thought that was great stuff. He ran back and told a bunch of his little friends, and moments later, about 20 little kids came running down to the front of the church yelling out, "Ahoy, Patch the Pirate!" And my childhood dream came true. I finally got my nickname. Not quite the way I'd planned, but that was God's perfect plan. Well, the name stuck. And everywhere I went, kids began to call me Patch the Pirate. They also began to ask if we couldn't write some music for them. So I talked to my wife, Shelley, and my father-in-law, Dr. Garlock, and we came up with the idea of writing 16 songs, stringing them together with a storyline. Maybe I could be Patch the Pirate. I could also be Wally Whale if we did it early enough in the morning. Shelley had laryngitis, so we made her a seagull since she could just squeak and squawk anyway. And then we also had Uzi, Ozzy, and Ornery Oyster. Well, that was our first recording. It wasn't long before kids began to ask for another one. And parents began to say, "We're sick and tired of this one. Please give us another one." So for the last 25 years, we've done about one a year. And God has taken something that looked like it was going to be a tragedy in my life, losing my left eye to cancer, and has literally changed it into one of the greatest blessings of my life. When I got out of the hospital, I wanted to write a song to tell others how good God had been. So I sat down at our kitchen table with my Bible open to the book of Philippians and also spread out the cards that people had sent to be a blessing to me and began to weave together all these ideas into a song. And we called the song, "Rejoice in the Lord."
Never moves without purpose nor plan. When trying his servant and molding a man, give thanks to the Lord, though your testing seems long. In darkness he giveth a song. Oh, rejoice in the Lord, he makes no mistake. He knoweth the end of each path that I take. For when I am tried, not see through the shadows ahead. So I looked at the cross of my Savior instead. I bowed to the will of the Master that day. Then peace came and tears fled away. Strengthens his children and purges in love. My Father knows best, and I trust in his care. Through purging, more fruit I will